Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Just going over to XRP. Once again, thank you for support, okay? Big up the CoinsKid crew. So the fear and greed is currently sitting at 41. Last week was at 54, pretty neutral. So we are coming back a bit. Everyone's getting really fearful, aren't we? You know. So the big question is the bottom in? You know, what's going to happen over the next few months? Are we looking at a big break to the upside for XRP and things like that? Personally, I think, you know, these levels here, this sort of fear depression that we go through is opportunity. But again, people say I'm too bullish, but then they say I'm too bearish when I'm calling for pullbacks. You know, you can't please everybody, basically. Now, Litecoin, if you are into Litecoin, it has come down to that particular trend line that we were looking at, okay, that big correction back down to it when people thought it was going to take off into space. It has come down to that trend line. Equally, Ethereum has come down to a key level support as well. So there are some real strong trend lines in the charts for a lot of coins right now, okay. I've been posting these in Twitter, on Twitter, and equally in the Discord right there for the CoinsKid crew, okay. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of things today, lining up that we could just kick back, relax, wait for a couple of these things to play out, and it could indicate the bottom and a beautiful entry point for you as well, okay, if the bottom is obviously not already in. So let's take a look at some of the charts right now. But anyway, the fear and greed is sitting at 41. So, you know, in my opinion, in bull markets, that offers opportunity whenever we see fear, okay. Let's dive into the DXY right now. So looking at DXY on the daily time frame, we've got a beautiful little break here of a massive wedge. Look at this, we've come down, got tight, boom, 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 boom. A little bit of a bear trap as well, which I discuss in greater detail in the Bitcoin video. Please check that out. We've got a little bit of a bear trap just there, and I think in Bitcoin we printed a bull trap as well. And right now we've got some kind of wicked V-shaped recovery out of there, haven't we? Huge V-shaped recovery on the dollar. You can clearly see we broke back into that resistance, back tested this neckline of support once more, and then we called up, and right now we're breaking out, aren't we? You can clearly see on this wedge, like I've said to you, when you break these wedges, each point of contact is key resistance, and the technical target when you break out of a wedge is always where you form the wedge. Look at that, okay? So the Bitcoin, the DXY is breaking out, ran into the first point of contact, and right now it's coming back into the support, and right now it's taken off again. Now there is a fib level here as well that the DXY is running into, so we might experience a little bit of a drawback on a DXY into this neckline just there, something like this over the next few days, some kind of pullback, and then a continuation sort of next week, looking for that particular technical target to be met, okay. Now once we meet that technical target, I do think there's a high possibility that we could actually begin to turn around and continue with the downtrend here on the DXY, okay. Something like this where it begins to roll, comes back down, and then it falls back into this channel and starts to continue, because I think that what we've got here is a massive move which has begun here, and you know, I go through this in greater detail in the Bitcoin video. Please check that out. I think the DXY has been in some kind of flat correction here since April, okay, and this is a bit of a bear trap, and right now this is a C wave. So, you know, usually in downtrends and uptrends, people get really bullish in a C wave when it's in a downtrend, and they get really bearish in a C wave when it's in an uptrend, which is what I think we've got as an inverse correlation. I think that Bitcoin is actually in a C wave, and I think that the DXY is in a C wave of its correction coming back up before continuation, where Bitcoin is actually in a C wave of its, you know, correction before continuation. Really is that simple. So what I'm looking for the DXY right now is to run into this resistance and roll, okay. So we'll keep an eye on this level of resistance right there, is 105.64, and I think that that could be a little sweet spot for XRP as well, for the DXY, okay. So we'll keep an eye going forward. It could mean that, you know, at the moment we are simply retracing to fill some of that wick that we put in way back there in August before we do begin to start to, you know, carve out structural bottom and reverse, and we obviously we need to see the DXY breaking down for that. Now one thing that's a little bit unnatural for the DXY right here is these candles just here, okay. Now if this was a project, a crypto project or whatever, I would absolutely be telling you to take profit in that, because you know you are beginning to sort of look a little bit unhealthy right there. And again, this is part and parcel of the mindset of a C wave in a correction. People tend to get bullish when it's correcting in a downtrend, and they tend to get bearish when it's correcting in an uptrend. It really is that simple. So at the moment, you know, there's nothing in this chart that really screams reversal for me at the moment, okay, until obviously you start to come back like this, and then you start to make a high low down here and take out this high from which you've come. If we do start to see that in time, then yeah, you know, XRP and Bitcoin and crypto will be caught in a larger correction. So it's just a patience game. At the moment we are simply retracing, we're pushing up through the fibs. You've not even back tested that fib as support just yet. We've got the 382 at 105, so that might be a kilo resistance where we do start to come back and then attack that technical target of that wedge, which is around about 105.64. So again, you could just sit back, relax, and be patient and wait for that test to come in and see what happens at that point, okay. So let's dive into the S&P 500 quite quickly. So the S&P 500 is a leading stock index, isn't it? But this needs to be healthy if we expect Bitcoin and XRP and things like that to, you know, be healthy as well. So what we've got here is a clean break of resistance, a backtest support, and right now we're breaking out of all this resistance, aren't we? So what we've got is a beautiful buy and go to the beat signal from CoinsKid, a 20 and 55 EMA golden cross on the S&P 500. We've checked the history, 18 instances of this in the last 50 years, and each one has led to breaking the high before losing the low, obviously. So it's quite a bullish little statement that we can't ignore, and I relayed that data to you way back then when it happened in May. And like I said to you, it's a looking glass, isn't it? Regardless of what XRP is doing or Bitcoin or whatever, it's a very, very powerful statement from risk appetite that we need to pay attention to. So at the moment we have ran into a key level resistance here, which is this high here, and it looks as though we've got some kind of retracement, possibly some kind of ABC correction coming back in. We found support on the 20, but so far so good. Providing this holds all the support of this retracement, this correction that's going through, you know, when people are getting really, really bearish, like I said to you, on the dollar, you know, because it's rising, they think, oh no, everything's going to zero, but you just simply correct it until you're not, okay? So if it does start to break down and it loses a key level support, which in my opinion is a 0.5 fib, which is this wave one high just there at 4102, then yeah, I will begin to entertain the fact that XRP is in a deep world of trouble, okay? But until then, we're breaking out, we're back testing, we're looking good, we're looking for continuation on this chart. Now what we do have here, and I did pinpoint this in the Bitcoin video as well, you can clearly see if I drop a trend line in here, you can see that resistance just there, made a low, broke out. Then we came back down, made this low into this level of resistance just there, this support, sorry. Then we back tested this resistance once more. And then what we did, we come down and possibly created a massive head here. And what we do have as a bullish reversal pattern forming is a beautiful left shoulder, a head, and then a right shoulder that's beginning to carve out for the S&P 500. Now I do think that if we do start to take out this neckline here in time, marked here 4605, then I think we could have a really good time here for risk appetite, and this particular chart creating this bullish reversal pattern could be indicative of that, you know, we're marching towards the 1618 target up there, which if you know you're familiar with the channel right now, that's always a beautiful target for us to get to. So off this low here, when people were really bearish last year, possibly some kind of 1, flat 2, 3, 4, back test to 1, and then boom, see you later. We're up down to 1618 at 5879. So if we do start to take out this neckline here, I do think we're, you know, creating this massive inverse head and shoulders pattern with a technical breakout target towards the 1618. A little bit confluence lining up in that, but obviously we need to see the DXY breaking down for that particular scenario. So we'll keep an eye on this chart going forward, but right now possibly creating some kind of ABC zigzag correction back down to this neckline, which would make sense. Everyone's going to get super bearish, but it's just a back test of support, possibly carving out the left shoulder, come back up, take out that resistance, see you later. We've got a big looking glass in this chart again. Let's dive into the XRP chart right now and see what we can see. So looking at XRP on a daily time frame, there's a little bit of confluence lining up at the moment in the DXY chart. It's running to the 382 fib, and we've got this support that's holding this sort of falling channel, isn't it, for XRP? It looks horrible, it looks nasty. These sort of like little channels are really horrible, but you know, if this breaks, then you can go long, or if it loses support, you can go short. It's entirely up to you. Now personally, I would not be looking to go short at this level, because what we've got is we've got a little bullish divergence that's building here, where we're making this series of lower lows in the price action and higher lows in the RSI. So there's a little bit of a bullish divergence building here. Is equally confluence in the DXY running to that 0382 fib. Okay, so like I said to you earlier in the video, I think that the DXY is running to the 382 fib. You might start to see it come back a little bit. This little leg of comeback here might be the fuel for this little bullish divergence to play out, and for XRP to start to come back up to retrace into this level of resistance just there, that it's melted through a support. So there is a possibility here that we might be looking at some kind of little short squeeze here for XRP, around about 20% into 059723, a little pump where we'll most definitely take profit. At that point as well, we'll begin to come back, hopefully hold some kind of high low and carve out some kind of structural ascending triangle down here over a longer period of time, okay, for XRP. So again, there's no guarantees, but come to your charts, draw this trend line, okay, because it's getting really tight in here. Obviously the most obvious trade right now is to go short, but this is what creates short trades, okay, short squeezes, sorry. Lots of people piling on the shorts, and then it goes against them, okay, because it grabs the liquidity. So for me right now, I think that the trade is a long, basically, because what we've got confluence in the DXY running to the 382 fib, potentially coming back making a high low basically before running into the technical target of that wedge that it's broken out of, which I've shown you in the earlier point of the video. And this is where we could run into this, This finds support the DXY and the support of the pullback, and then this comes back as the DXY breaks into the technical target of its falling wedge basically. So, and then this will create this high low. We're currently holding that in a 35-day correction as well, and this is where we're beginning to carve out this structural bottom down here for XRP. Okay, so again, you know, it is a guessing game. Anything can happen. You could just sit back, relax at this point and wait, be patient for the reversal pattern to play out, you know, as we've done many times before. Just be patient and wait for the reversal pattern to play out here for XRP. But one thing we have done here is we have got this 35-day correction out the way, haven't we? You know, this 35-day correction, a 5-week correction, 5 times 7, 35. We went through a very similar correction in 2020 before building a base and start to come back up the stairs. But one thing we have got here as a confluence to the fact that I do think we'll get a retracement to the upside is we've got this support lost at 0.59, and then we've got this support lost at 0.67. So I think that these levels are screaming back test. So this is your first level of resistance. Take profit, come back in higher low. We'll look for structural support on that, and then boom, we're going to break into that resistance as well. So there's some beautiful trades coming up potentially for XRP. Remember, minimize your risk, don't be a degen, don't over leverage, and you know, let's make money in this space together. Good luck everyone. The links are in each and every single video description. Take care. Back to another update on XRP. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Bye bye.